Have you ever felt kind of stuck on your spiritual journey? You start off with all this enthusiasm, but then somewhere down the line, it feels like you've hit a wall. It's a really common feeling. So in this explainer, we're going to dive into a fantastic lecture by Hari Parshat Prabhu that looks at why pure devotional service is so incredibly rare, and more importantly, what we can actually do to get moving again.
So right at the start, Hari Parshat Prabhu makes it clear that there isn't just one single path. He pulls from the Shrimad-Bhagavatam to draw a line between two kinds of devotion. On one side, you've got the ideal, nishkam bhakti, that's pure, totally selfless service. But on the other side is sakam bhakti, and that's service that's, mixed with our own personal material desires. And let's be honest, that's where most of us are at. And he uses this brilliant analogy to make it all make sense. He says that pure devotion is like chemically pure H2O that you'd find in a laboratory. It's the perfect, technical, 100% pure definition. But in real life, we're all drinking tap water. It's still water, it absolutely works, but it's got other stuff mixed in. And that's the reality for pretty much everyone on a spiritual path.
So what does that laboratory pure devotion actually look like? Well, the scriptures call it uttama bhakti, and the standards are, incredibly high. First, enya bilashita shunyam, which means zero material desires. Okay, there's a little exception for real emergencies. Second, it can't be covered by a desire for philosophical knowledge or some kind of personal reward. And finally, it has to be anukulyena, which means it's completely 100% favorable to Krishna.
Okay, so this brings us to the big question, right? If the goal is so perfectly defined, so crystal clear, then why does it feel almost impossible to get there? Why do we get so stuck? This is really the core problem that the rest of the lecture tackles.
Hari Parshat Prabhu actually gives this feeling a name. He calls it the stage of mediocrity. You know what I'm talking about. It's that plateau where you feel like you're just going through the motions. You're part of the community, you're doing the practices, but that deep inner progress, that real taste, it just feels so far away. You're stuck, and you have no idea how to get unstuck.
And to really paint a picture of this, he compares a new devotee to a student at the beginning of the school year. You've got your fresh notebooks, your new books, you're so excited, but then the first really hard assignment comes along, and suddenly all that excitement just deflates, and you're left feeling frustrated and totally overwhelmed.
All right, let's get into the heart of the issue. Why is pure devotion called Sudurlabha, which means very, very rare? According to the great teacher Rupa Goswami, as the speaker explains it, the whole thing really just boils down to two major roadblocks.
First, it's us. Simple as that. Our own attitude, what we really prioritize deep down, it's just not lined up to receive something this precious. We might say we want it, but our heart is still running after a bunch of other things. And second, and this is such a fascinating idea, Krishna himself is actually super selective about who he gives it to.
Now that second point is just mind-blowing. Why would Krishna hold it back? Well, it's because giving pure devotion isn't like handing out a flyer. It's an invitation into his most intimate, personal world. As the speaker puts it, it actually means Krishna agrees to become subordinate to his devotee. He lets their love guide him, like a parent with a child. Think about it. You wouldn't open up your deepest self to a total stranger, right? Well, neither does Krishna.
Okay, so we're stuck. What's the traditional advice? Well, the scriptures do lay out a path for gradual purification. It's called Varnashrama Dharma. But, as we're about to see, the word gradual might just be the understatement of the century. The idea behind it is pretty straightforward. You just perform the duties that fit your natural material tendencies. The whole system is meant to work like a sweet medicine. It suits who you are, and it slowly purifies you over time. And the key word in the verse is shanai, which means gradually.
But how gradual are we talking? Well, get this. The commentators explain that if you follow your duties perfectly, it could take 100 lifetimes just to be born as a brahmana, a member of the intellectual class. And from there, it could take who knows how many more lifetimes to get fully purified. So for anyone hoping to make progress in this life, that timeline can feel a little bit discouraging.
So, if that gradual path is just way too long, is there another option? Is there some kind of fast track to break out of that mediocrity and make real, actual progress now? The answer, thankfully, is a huge, resounding yes. And the key, according to Hari Parshat Prabhu, isn't some complicated technique. It's a person, a sadhu. But we're not talking about just any holy person here. The definition he gives is super specific, very action-oriented. A true sadhu is someone whose only business in life, their one-pointed focus, is loving Krishna. They're an expert in the process, and because they're so absorbed in their own spiritual life, they literally have zero time or interest in finding fault with anyone else.
So the big secret, the way forward, is actually incredibly simple, but so powerful. You find someone who is genuinely motivated, someone who really lives these qualities, and you just seek out their association. That one step, it can change absolutely everything.
So why does this work so well? It's because that kind of association is a catalyst. When you're around someone who is truly fired up and determined, it's just contagious. Their example sparks your own enthusiasm, it builds your determination, it shows you how to act, it basically fosters all the other good qualities you need. It's like one simple action just lights a fire under the whole process.
And this brings us to the final point, and honestly, it's probably the most important one. All of these methods, all of these paths, they're kind of useless if we don't know where we're actually trying to go. It all comes back to getting really clear about our own priorities.
In the Q&A session of the lecture, Hari Parshat Prabhu throws out this amazing challenge. He says, just ask yourself this question. I came to this spiritual path because I want to, and you have to fill in that blank with total honesty. And if your answer doesn't have something to do with Krishna Prema or pure love of God, then you know right there that your priorities might need a little adjustment. And so we're left with this one question that just cuts through all the noise, all the complexity. Before you worry about the techniques, the path, the obstacles, you have to be absolutely crystal clear about your destination. Because, as any smart person will tell you, you always have to begin with the end in mind.